Hi there, so today we are starting a new project because I am done with my mother's scarf and yeah, I wanted something new to do. And I had all of this old yarn from when I made my blanket, so I thought that we could use this chunky yarn and make a little sweater. Yeah. Sweater. So we are making a Raglan pullover with chunky yarn, and it will be my first ever pullover or sweater. I've done a lot of knitting in my life, but never a sweater, so this will be the first. I started the other day by doing a swatch, and it turned out in the correct measurements with the recommended knitting needles, so I am ready to get started. And if you want to join me in this project, you can do so by going to the description, because I'll have the pattern posted there so you can follow along. I am going to be making the small one, I should say. So we will be needing 6mm needles for the ribbing and some 8mm needles for the main part of the body. And for the collar, they recommended circular needles, but I don't have that. I have sock double pointed needles, so I'm going to be using those. Also 6mm. And a little tapestry needle just to sew up everything in the end. But for this video, we are starting from the beginning, so we will just be focusing on the small 6mm needles. Yeah, let's get started. So as I said, I'm going to be making the small one here today. Well, not today, it's gonna take some time because projects take time. But I'm going to be putting on 56 stitches. Maybe I should do that the other way instead. Okay. That one got in the way. Okay. So I am going to be using something called rib cable cast on, I think it was. I just looked this up before I began because I started researching things for knitting your first sweater, and they suggested that. So I'm gonna do that, and we'll have to see. Let's see. That'll be twisted. No, it should be fine. I just thought I got the stitch twisted, but it should be fine. Yeah, so I am making the small one. That means I'll have to put on 56 stitches on the needle. And that's a purl, that's a knit, that's a purl, so this is a knit. And I am moving those like so. I don't know if you can see much, but If you can, that's great, and if you can't, let me know if you want me to do something a bit clearer. So this method, I've tried it a few times already just so I wouldn't be completely newbie while making this video. And I noticed it takes a lot longer to do this than it takes me to do regular long tail cast on, or just the loop cast on. So yeah, but it gives it a nice effect. Because you get the ribbing starting from the beginning and not one row up, so that is nice. And I brought some stitch markers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that I can mark how far along we are. Like so. Now I don't have to count these ones anymore. Pearl, 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 pearl. I'm just hoping it doesn't get in the way. Somehow. So when I say this is my first sweater, I mean that it is the first sweater that I'm actually gonna finish. I've done, or I've started the same sweater project 2 times, and it was a 5-year-old sweater project with super fine yarn and tiny needles. After 5 years, I had not even finished one piece of it. Like, I was maybe 10-15 centimeters above the ribbing. And I've noticed that for some reason, unexplainable reason, the yarn was starting to come apart. Like at certain points it was a few strings that had been broken. At other points it was the entire string or piece of yarn that had been broken. And if you are familiar with natural fibers, you might know what happened. Yeah, I was a bit grossed out, so I just decided to chuck the whole thing. And yeah, it was a really sad waste of all that yarn, but 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. But yeah, I tried using it for a little while, but I would have to cut up, and the pieces would be only like this long. And it started being more like the parts where the yarn was meeting the other yarn, so I'm not sure how to say that in English, but those pieces, I had like for every row, maybe I had 1 or 2 connecting parts where the fabric was a little bit thicker, and yeah, not the best experience. Not the most nicely looking yarn, and I am not able to spin my own yarn yet. Maybe in the future. Oops. So I didn't know what to do with it. It was just rags, I guess. Slarvsylta, I would say in my own language. So yeah, it ended up in the recycling. After being frozen. Just in case. So we are now beyond 20 and we're going for 56. It should be a few more minutes. Then we can get started with the knitting, which is arguably the most fun part. So have you ever started a project that you never finished? I do that a lot. And then I have like the theme of a year for me is this year I'm gonna finish my projects, and then I try to finish as many as I can. I had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I had a project where I wanted to complete the adult education, like adult high school education, and I did that last year. So I am kind of inspired to make this year a year of finishing projects, because I am done with that. Now I just need to get a good enough score on my SATs, and then and then I can go back to school to get a proper education, and by that time I kind of want to have all of these old projects finished. And I always wanted to make a sweater, so I want to have 1 sweater under my belt. Is that the expression? I think it might be a Swedish expression. I'm not sure. Before I start school. So that is done. So yeah, I want to finish this. As I want to finish all my projects, I guess. But I especially want to finish a sweater, because I've never done that before, and I just want to have that achievement that I've finished a sweater. I've noticed that while I can hear that the knitting makes a lot of sounds, I don't know if, or I've noticed that you aren't really able to hear it as well as I am. So I've been thinking about maybe getting my ASMR microphone, putting it here, and having the needles close to it, facing it, sort of. So maybe you can get that experience. So we'll try that for the next video, but I didn't think about doing that for this video, so. Just to make the ASMR experience a little better, you know? A little more immersive. So we are now at 42. 14 more to go. And I would probably do this a lot faster if I wasn't talking and getting distracted, but that's the charm of this, I think. It's just slowly doing something and jabbering on about something else. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna come a little closer. You'll not be able to focus on my face or the lower half of my face, but maybe you can just hear it and we can test that, see how it is. Let's see. And in the background it is raining. It's a rainy day today. So I'm hoping this is able to be picked up. That is 50. Put the marker here. Just 6 more to go and then we'll get started with knitting. And I'm really excited. I think starting a new project is the best part of a project because you're just dreaming up all those goals. Did I do that right? Knit, purl, no. Huh. Maybe I'll have to double check this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 50. 56. I'm gonna remove all of these so that they don't get in the way. Oop, almost dropped that one. Like so. Yeah. And we're done with the cast on. Ta-da! So this was a knit. Wait, I'm gonna redo that one. I don't want to pull at it too much. Gonna get it close to the end. And gently pull that loop through. Pull it off. And I did not even do a knit. That's weird. Hang on. Let me try this again. Go through. Pull it around. Maybe I need a bit more force. There we go. And then here we have a pearl. And so, and now we can pull that a little tighter. This one is facing the wrong direction. This one is also facing the wrong direction. I obviously taught myself how to do this inaccurately, because this one is also facing, I think. Let me just check. Are they getting twisted? They're not, so they are twisted. Okay. That's annoying. That means I'm probably gonna have to untwist every knit stitch in this row. Yep. So I guess, let me think. When I did like this, and I put them like that, I put them off like that. I guess I should have done it from the front, so that it's the right way. Yeah. Oh well, you live and learn. Maybe I'm just... Wait, that one was right. Oh, because it's a pearl. Oh, yeah, of course. Live troubleshooting. Or not live, but not perfect. You can tell that I am learning still. I've been knitting since I was like 6. And there are still so many things that I don't know. I mean, just in my previous video, I learned to purl holding like this. And I've been purling a whole different way my entire life. Let's just see how it looks here. Yeah, it looks over. Yeah, it's good. So yeah. This is a little annoying, but thankfully it's just one row. And then we can just go back to normal, easy knitting. And it's quite tight as well, probably because of how the stitches were made. Oops. So I'll have to rewatch the video and learn how to do this in the proper way. Maybe I should have gone the other direction. Let's just try it here. Because then if I and then pull it on, and yeah, then it's right. So I did it the wrong direction when I was casting on. So either I'll have to check and see next time I do it. If it's easier for me to put it on the needle the other direction, or if I just have to remember to slip it the other way instead. Because I think both should give the same results. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna try the microphone thing next time, holding it up like this. It's kind of hurting my whatever this is. Not the entire shoulder, but just this specific point right here. I guess it's not the most ergonomical position to be sitting in like this. Having to really use my abs to support my position. But we're almost done with this nightmare row. And then we're off to easy breezy knitting. So I'll finish this row, and I think we'll do one more row. And then end the video there. And if you are joining me in this project, then we will finish the ribbing and then come back next time, starting by switching to the larger needles and starting with the back. So we'll see how far we get on that. Where are we? A pearl. And then twist this one. Now we're getting to the end, so I want to be more careful. It's a good thing the final stitch was a pearl stitch, so I don't have to twist it. I'm just gonna hold on here. Oops. Hang on. There. So the nightmare is finished. And we can get started. Easy, breezy knitting. I'm just gonna make these first ones kind of delicately, and then we can get started. So I'll move back a little bit just to save my this whatever that is. Yeah, so I'll finish this row and then I will complete the ribbing off camera, and you'll have, if you're joining me in this project, you'll have 2 weeks to get to the next point if you want to do it at the same time. So I'll upload the next part of this, being the back, the main part of the back, in 2 weeks. And we'll see what we'll do next week. I have some ideas. Some more like this one, others more like the older content. We'll see. It depends on how I am feeling. I'm going back to work next week, so I won't be on vacation anymore. So we'll see how much time I have to, time and energy to dedicate to other things. Thankfully, the SATs are tomorrow, so after that's done, whether I get a good enough score or not, it won't matter, because there's nothing I can do about it. So I can put that aside for a little bit. Hopefully I get a good enough score. But Otherwise, I'll have to do the next one that's in autumn and hope for a better score there. And I'll also have the next one in spring next year. So if I don't get a good enough score this year or this time, then I have more opportunities to do it over the coming year in next year until the next search application period time thing. Well, oof, that's a tight one. I think, yeah, the yarn got caught. And we're getting to the end, so we'll be a little gentle. And there we are. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you were able to hear the sounds when I came up close, so I didn't sacrifice my shoulder in vain. Yeah, like I said, if you're joining this project, keep knitting. 2 weeks and we'll do the next part. I'll probably finish this way before all the videos are up, just because I can't stop myself from doing it, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, so until next time I see you, take care.